$100,000. That's the number finance YouTube gurus keep handing you. The balance where compounding supposedly takes off. You've also heard $250,000, $600,000, $1 million. They can't all be right, and people quit over the gap between those numbers and their actual account. So forget all of them. The moment your money explodes or catches fire isn't a balance, it's a date. And you can find yours in about 60 seconds. You just need two numbers that get you to the third. And the third is the same for everyone watching. Start with what you've been told. The first $100,000, then $250,000, then $600,000, then $1 million, then 25 times your annual expenses, which for most people lands well past $1 million. 5 different numbers, all sold as the same moment. The balance where your money finally starts pulling more weight than you do. Here's the problem, and it isn't a matter of opinion. Take two people, both sitting on exactly $100,000. One saves $500 a month. Her money already puts in more every year than she does. The other saves $2,000 a month. He isn't a third of the way there. Same balance, same market, same day. One has already arrived. The other has years left. A number that means opposite things for two people isn't a threshold. It's a rumor with a dollar sign on it. This isn't here to make you feel clever about gurus. It's here because the rumor costs people money. Vanguard runs about 5 million retirement accounts, and at the end of 2025, the median balance was $44,115. That's the median, not the bottom. Now put that person in front of a video telling them the real number is $600,000. They do the math. They come up $555,885 short on a $500 a month budget, and a lot of them quit right there. That's the damage, not a wrong number floating around the internet. A correct sounding number that makes the people furthest from it quit first. So if the threshold isn't a balance, what is it? It's the day your money puts in more than you do. Not a balance you hit. A day. The day the market hands you more over 12 months than you contributed in those same 12 months. And from then on, you are the smaller contributor permanently. Here's the whole calculation. Say you put away $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. Now divide by 7%. A realistic long-run return if history's average holds. $6,000 divided by 0.07 is $85,714. That's it. That's your takeover number. At $85,714, a 7% year throws off $6,000, exactly what you put in. Cross it, and your money is the bigger contributor from that day on. And you land there in just over 10 years. By then you've put in $60,000 of your own money. The market added the other $25,714. Pause and run yours right now. Monthly amount times 12 divided by 0.07. What did you get? Now here's the part that shouldn't work. Whatever number you just got, you'll reach it at the same time as everyone else, as long as you both earn the same return. Save $200 a month and your target is small, and you fill it slowly. Save $2,000 and your target is 4 times bigger, and you fill it 4 times faster. The two cancel out. Same 10 years. Everyone, read that again. The takeover date doesn't care how much you save. 10 years of steady deposits and the market takes over. Whether you're putting in $200 a month or $2,000, your amount sets the number. Your start date sets the date. 4 savers, 4 different targets. $200 a month is $2,400 a year, divided by 0.07. Takeover number 34,286. $500 a month, 85,714. $1,000 a month, 171,429. $2,000 a month, 342,857. 10 times the target between the first saver and the last. Where are you on that list? Wherever it is, all 4 of them cross just past year 10. So watch it happen to one person. Sam, 34, warehouse operations supervisor, $58,000 a year. He puts $500 a month into a broad index fund and leaves it alone. His number is $85,714. Year 5. Sam has $34,504. Over the next 12 months, the market adds $2,415. Sam adds $6,000. 5 years in, he's still doing more than twice the work his money is. And this is the exact year people decide the whole thing is broken. Year 9. $71,868. The market's next 12 months bring $5,031. Still short of his $6,000, it's been 9 years. Year 10, $82,899. The market's share, $5,803. Almost there. He is 197 away from the entire thing flipping. Year 11, $94,702. That balance throws off $6,629 over the next 12 months against his $6,000. Sam has crossed, and nothing happened. No crash, no windfall, no raise, no clever move. He deposited the same $500 a month in year 11 that he deposited in year 1. The only thing that changed was how many times he'd done it. It doesn't stop there either. The gap widens every year from here because the market's share grows with the balance and his share stays a flat $6,000, all of which assumes Sam never missed a year. Go back to year 4. Sam has $26,640 in the account. He's put in $24,000 of it, and the market's share that year was $1,350. That's the year the $500 a month starts to feel pointless. So say he decides to take a break from his contributions. 12 months off, $6,000 stays in his checking account, then he restarts. Now price that at year 30. His balance lands $34,844 lower. $6,000 he didn't invest, and it cost him $34,844. That is the most expensive $6,000 Sam will ever spend, and he spent it on nothing he can remember. Can you name what you did with your money 4 years ago? The date moves too. His takeover slides about 10 months into the future, 1 year of missed deposits near the front, almost 1 extra year of waiting at the back. Skip 2 years instead of 1, years 4 and 5, and year 30 comes in $67,409 lower. So the date is only fixed if the deposits are. 10 years is what steady buys you. It isn't a clock that runs whether you feed it or not. One more caveat, and then we're done with caveats. 10 years assumes 7%. At 6%, it's closer to 12 years. At 8%, it's about 9. The return moves your date, and nobody watching this controls the return. You control whether the deposits show up. That's the entire division of labor here. So go back to those numbers: $100,000, $250,000, $600,000, $1 million. Every one of them was somebody handing you a finish line with no idea how far away you were standing. Here's yours instead, and it takes one line: your monthly contribution times 12 divided by 0.07. That's your takeover number, and your takeover date is roughly 10 years after your first automatic deposit, which means the question was never how much. It's whether the clock has started. If you began 3 years ago, you aren't behind. You're 7 years out. If you start this month, you have a date in 2036, and it's the same date as the person putting away 4 times what you put away. You came into this looking for a balance to hit. You're leaving with a year on a calendar, and the only thing between you and it is showing up 120 times in a row. So run it and put it in the comments. What's your takeover number and which of the 10 years are you in? Both numbers, one line. And if you want this same math from the other direction, watch Your Money Earns an Hourly Wage. At $100,000, it's $3.37 per hour. It's on the screen. This one handed you the date. That one hands you the paycheck. Subscribe if the numbers were worth it. Sorted runs the math the others hide. Remember, none of this is personal financial advice. It's information so you can build your own plan. See you on the next one.